Hello and welcome to the Nifty Nerd Show. My name's Kat, and on this very special episode, I'm working on a Jazza competition. As you might have noticed, when the screen started up, there was a completely colored in background, and that's because I didn't think I was going to be recording this one, but I decided to do so. And I thought it'd be fun, do like a little 90s arcade theme, draw all my characters within it. The colors, I think they turned out pretty well. I fiddled with them for a while, which would have been painstaking to watch as it was in real life. But I've got a lot of my OCs in here as well. It's like this little friend is Rek, one of my D&D characters. They are a half-orc rogue. Yeah, rogue. They're pretty fun. I haven't played them in a while. This is another D&D character. This is a Snapper, which you have to say as you snap. They are a Triton Bard. And the reason I wanted to participate in this competition, not only because of obviously a tablet up for grabs, and I draw on one where I have to look at the screen and the tablet separately, but also because a lot of the reasons I do digital art is because of a previous Jazza competition, the one where you redrew his old art in your style modernly. And before that, I had my drawing tablet and everything, but it was a pain to use. If you don't use a digital tablet that's separate from the screen, it is so hard to figure out all of the different hand-eye coordination involved. And that competition forced me to spend some time on a piece because I wanted to make sure that it looked really nice and it was all digital and stuff. And a piece that big with the amount of detail I wanted to put in it would have used up all of my markers. And markers are very expensive. A pack of Copics is practically a down payment on a house after all. I've also got not just my characters, but some of Fee's as well. My fellow co-host on the Nifty Nerd Show. However, Fee is busy or something. Whatever. Unbelievable. Apparently, they have better stuff to do. Nothing I can relate to, I know. So, after I finished inking everybody in, it was time for the colors. And I wanted the colors to be a little more muted than the bright, vibrant, cool kid background, and I thought it turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with all the coloring. I thought this would take a lot longer than it did. You might notice that normally in my speed draws it all goes by a lot slower and you can't make out a lot of details. It's very flashy, but this one went by pretty slowly because it didn't take super long because I wasn't doing hardly any rendering on the individual characters. I was just coloring them in like a coloring book or something. But I still couldn't use the fill tool because they were drawn in very loosely because they're just an afterthought. The real focus is the background and the coloring, which is the prompt of the competition, is to color in the Jazza background. So it's going pretty well so far. I thought at this stage that some of the colors were sloppy. Had to really clean up some of them. And let me tell you, there was a lot of colors. All of these different characters, it is incredible that I can remember how to draw them all in my head. I didn't look at my references, but looking back, they all do look exactly like this. I really enjoy making characters. It's one of my favorite things about art, is just making little worlds, even if they're only a page long. That's a whole new thing that you created. That's always very special and fun. And some of them last for a while. Me and Fee are trying to even make a little comic with some of them at the moment. Although only one of the characters from that is on this background piece. And that character would be the scary looking demon towards the bottom. Fee calls it the pus monster, which I do not like the name of. We've also got werewolf hunters in here, vampires with bat wings, superheroes obviously. I'm big into superheroes. Always have been, probably always will be. We can't make any promises. So all the different characters, I'm really happy with the ones I chose. And figuring out all the poses for them was no easy feat because this background is not very geometric. It's very curvy and shapy and it goes all in curves and stuff and they go up and down. So some of them are flying, some are sliding down, some are swinging, some are climbing up. The mermaid characters are trying to swim through the blue section of the artwork. And brain power is something you can't see in a speed draw. like, if I'm ever watching a video, they'll be like, I really thought about doing this. And it's like, you can't see them thinking about doing this on the page. But when you're drawing, it is one of the hardest things, is just thinking about what to do and how to do it. But that's what makes art so fun. You gotta put a lot of effort into it. Some of these characters I've even had for, oh gosh, like 6 years now. And I'm still drawing them. So that'll always be fun. And just, make characters, have a good time. I love fan art too, but making my own ain't nothing like it. This part of the drawing is when I was thinking about the fact that I did not have any big oomph to it. This is a contest. I don't think I'm gonna win, but at the end of the day, you gotta try and really put your best foot forward into it. And all of this is just flat colors. The background is flat colors. Even if I try to pick like a fun, cool color scheme, the foreground characters are flat colors. Even if I give them cool poses and stuff, doesn't matter how much I like my stuff. I need to get other people to take notice. Which is why I did a bunch of textures on it. I didn't record the first one because it hurt to look at, and a lot of it was me looking through different brushes, but I eventually got down a method, and it was essentially getting the magic wand tool, selecting areas of the same color, as you're seeing me do now, painstakingly slow because this took about as long as you're seeing it be done in real time. Maybe even shorter. But once you have all the tools out, then you're pretty good to go. You just draw on top of it. Autodesk is not like Photoshop. I do not know what happens in Photoshop stuff. The magic wand tool is always good to use on different stuff. So yeah, I'm just getting all these little last bits picked out. I definitely forgot some, because I'm pretty sure I had to go back in a second and pick out some more. But hopefully here pretty soon. Trust me, you're just as impatient as I am right now watching PastCat do that. Yeah, I'm going to pick out a little brush. I'm going to select a slightly different color, paint over it. Ooh, isn't that pretty fun? Looks all textured. This is like a cloudy brush. Autodesk has a lot of great brushes. Sometimes I feel like there isn't quite what I want, but most of the time there is. And I really liked all the different brushes I use. Like there's a camo brush and a thorn brush that I really like, and that are used, I believe, on the blue and green respectively. But those were just very fun to try out. So I've got the first different color. I'm gonna go select sections I forgot. That's right, I remembered that part. Let me tell you, remembering things is not my strong suit. Like, for example, remembering to record this. This is definitely a same day record and render video because I have zero time management skills. I can spend a long time doing art, but will, in the same time that I'm drawing Fear Street fan art and be doing dishes? Absolutely not. I don't have any time management. But probably not a strong suit. See, here we're getting a different color, a different shade going into the piece, just to give it some more depth, some more texture, some more cool things to look at. That's really the idea of art, is to get something cool to look at. And I'm pretty proud of this one. I'm very happy with the texture. I made this before my past video on the superheroes as monsters, which is, I used a lot more texture in that video than I do normally. And I was very pleased with how it all turned out to be. See, that's a big difference right there. The texture versus the not textured. Textured versus not textured is kind of the difference between like a real style and like a cartoony style. And I love a good cartoony style, but at the same time, a lot of texture can really bring a piece out and make it look a lot more interesting and stand out far more than its counterparts. And here's all my different layers, just so you can see them all come together in the end, especially the difference between the flat colors and then the line art on top of the flats. One of the reasons I love line art, really just makes everything pop out. Here's the background colored with some colored in characters. Here's just the background. Really proud of how it all turned out in the end. Here is the black and white characters with a very colorful and poppin' background. And we've got a black and white background with some colored characters just to bring out my little creations to life. But that's all we have for you here today, folks. Thanks for tuning into the Nifty Nerd Show. Be sure to tune in next week. Same nifty time, same nifty channel.